Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. It's been a while since I saw something on my phone, ran into the other room, and quickly set up all my equipment to make a video about it because there's just not been that much to talk about for a while, but that's all changed today. Treyarch have just tweeted out, "A little learning is a dangerous thing, hashtag Black Ops 4, hashtag zombies," and there is an image of what appears to be the device that Richtofen ended up in Blood of the Dead, trapped, left in that dimension, that little pocket dimension, forevermore. The image, as you can see on your screen, has like a hand at the top with what appears to be the hilt of a sword, so I'm thinking that this is going to be like post-Revelations premise-related material that we're going to be seeing here. There's like a belt buckle strap type thing as well. There's some other sort of paraphernalia around. It looks like this is potentially going to be something related to the poster for the map, I would guess, or something. This also seems to be the Chronorium. So if the Chronorium is showing a design for this machine, that seems a little peculiar, seeing as what we know about Blood of the Dead and the story of that map. Maybe when Richtofen opens the book and goes, "The pages have changed," that moment is when he first sees this design, potentially. I mean, who knows, right? You can see that it's very clearly meant to specifically be Richtofen. The guy even, I mean, I know he looks kind of like a skeleton sort of type thing, but has that same strap across his chest, has that same waist jacket. It's all very Richtofen themed. And it's cool, it's interesting that this is here. And then on the other side of the page, you have some writing that I don't think is going to be readable personally, but I could be wrong. I mean, on the left side of it, you've got like no, roof, things like that you can kind of make out and read. But then on the other side, I just don't know if that's something we're going to actually be able to translate or what have you. I've tried flipping it horizontally and vertically and moving it around and brightening and darkening and things like that in Photoshop, and I still can't really make out any words here, and I think that that's intentional. I don't think that they want us to be actually reading what that says, because certain parts of it seem like they aren't even proper words. Like if you look at some of the what would be words, they just seem to kind of be marks that don't actually make a lot of sense, and there's actually some repeated kind of looking characters, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's not readable. Above it, you can clearly see that that is the burning in kind of animation-y type thing that you would expect for the Chronorium that we've actually seen in trailers for zombies, for Chronicles, for example. That's what we'd expect when new words were being added to the page. But again, we're not going to really be able to make out much more beyond that, I would say, right now. Now, let's talk about the wider context of this image, okay? If this is what Richtofen saw when he opened the book and knew that he was the one that had to die, our blood, my blood, that quote, if that's what he was looking at here, that's all fine and dandy, but what's the deal with the stuff surrounding it, right? Why is there this hand that looks like it's dead just on the floor with this kind of gravel and shrubbery type thing going on there as well? Why would that be like that? Well, let's project into the future and say, what if this is specifically Nuketown related? Because we know that DLC3 is most likely going to be Nuketown. There have been people talking about Transit, but I don't think that that's true. I don't think that's the case necessarily. I think that DLC3 is indeed going to be Nuketown, as was leaked last year. And as such, how could this fit in? Well, as far as we know so far, the Chronorium has never really made it all the way through to Nuketown. There's never really been a point, at least that I can think of right now, where the Chronorium has actually been at that map. So let's take that idea and combine it with the idea that it seems like this is a sword hilt on the side of the image here, which I could be wrong about, by the way. It's just that that's what it looks like to me, like the kind of hilt that you would put a dagger inside. That might be hinting towards the fact that this is somewhere else entirely. Now, one thing that we really need to talk about that at face value might not seem related to this, but I think is worth just having in the mix in our heads, is the fact that we have, at this point, multiple messages from the crew seeming to fail in their quest to defeat Monty or whatever, and they basically just all die at the end. The main cipher in question I want to refer to is in Revelations, so it was a harder cipher to solve, and it was something that Treyarch and Jason specifically knew would take us longer to solve, and as such contains info that would be relevant further down the line, such as in Black Ops 4. So the cipher says, "I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough, cough, death is near. I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the arse. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would have been in a world of shit. Maybe now with all of us gone, the children will truly be safe. D." So that seems to be a timeline where the crew fail and Dempsey is the last alive and basically writes this final note and then dies. Could this image be somehow related to that scenario where the Primus crew go through their quest, they get to the Great War, they fight their battle. Primus Richtofen here is being symbolized as having failed, who has this sword and has this tunic and has this blood that has spilled onto the floor. He's failed in his mission, and then has taken one final look at the book and said, well, maybe in this particular turn of events, what should have happened is Richtofen should have stepped into the machine, but he didn't, and so we lost. Or this is the version of events that we already know, and he did step into the machine, and that's why they lost, or something like that. Like, how insane would that be if Richtofen stepping into that machine and making that sacrifice ended up actually being the downfall of all of our characters? It says in Classified, Ultimus will prevail, not Primus. It says Ultimus, and so it would be really interesting if the old kind of myth almost that started appearing in Shadows of Evil, Primus will fail, although they have discovered the way, it's completely possible that that might end up manifesting in some kind of failure of the crew here that relates to Richtofen being in that dark mechanism. I also want to just quickly point out, for people that think that this is just Richtofen in the dark mechanism, looking at himself in the dark mechanism in the book, he doesn't have any marks on his hand. I don't think that that's going to be the case. Actually, something that could be really cool, that is probably not actually going to be how this works out, but that could be cool, what if this was like Pablo, dude? Bro, like, let's just get Pablo involved, please, Treyarch. It's been so dang long. He deserves it at this point. Bring our boy back. In terms of when our next teaser might be, if the DLC is releasing on July 9th, which is when the new operation starts, then it's fairly likely that in these next 2 weeks, we'll be getting some kind of build-up with more images like this. There is also a possibility, though, that tonight, Treyarch are just like, it's 2 weeks to the day now, let's drop a trailer. Like, that might actually happen. And while I wouldn't get your hopes up necessarily, I'm going to wrap this video up here in case the trailer drops because I want to be ready to make a video about it. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll have more stuff related to this on my channel in the next sort of week or so, and I think this Saturday as well is most likely when I'll be posting my Borderlands documentary, so keep an eye out for that. I'll be talking more about that as the week goes on. Thanks for watching, though. Drop a like if you've enjoyed, and also check out, they'll be linked on the screen right now, my videos about Ted the bus driver and the secrets that he has up his sleeve regarding Classified and the ending of the zombie story. Big news in there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like I've said, I'll see you hopefully very soon, and let me know if you have any luck figuring out what that text says too. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.